Today I have a video that you need to watch before you go to all the trouble to change a starter on a vehicle that has a click no start or a click no crank situation. The click no start has symptoms that are very similar to a solenoid problem, but there's another part that can go bad, and that is the ignition starter switch. All right, thanks for tuning in to the 5Able channel. Today I'm going to show you a way to save quite a bit of money. If you're having click no start issues, you might want to consider replacing this. I opened mine up. The contacts were just not very good and the switch didn't work well at all, so I opted to replace it. The whole Nissan part to replace the switch on the back of your ignition on this is a 2013 Nissan Armada. You have to buy the entire assembly just to replace this little switch part here. When it's removed, it looks like this, and this piece is on lots and lots of cars, but if you look it up with Nissan, they will not show you this part for the Armada. They show you the entire assembly, which can be hundreds of dollars, whereas this piece is a lot cheaper, and you can get an aftermarket one. This is a Beck Arnley, and I got it for about $31, $34, something like that with tax, off of Amazon. And as you can see, it's the same. Even the indicators for the terminals are exactly the same, and I took a screwdriver and turned it to see if the notches felt the same, and they are. Everything about this looks the same as the factory part. This is typically for keyed Nissan cars. So if you're kind of in the in-between years where you don't have push button, but you have fob start where you don't have to put the key in, you can just turn the thing where a key normally would go, and as a matter of fact the backup key goes in, then you can probably get away with this part. At least this is what I'm doing. Do your own research and make sure this is the right part for you, but I'm doing it, and I'll tell you if it worked for me. All right, good news. 6 weeks of daily use with no starting problems. So this repair worked. And the location of this part that we're going to replace is actually on the back side of the shaft that this turns, which is down underneath here. And you have to look back up on the back side of it, and you'll see where the connection is. All right, I forgot to record the removal of the part, so I'm just going to tell you real quick what to do. First of all, you need to disconnect the negative battery lead, unplug the connector, then you remove the 2 screws, and then you can pull out the ignition switch. There's only 2 screws you have to remove, and I found the easiest thing to use was one of these little angle screwdrivers. But I added, this is for my Milwaukee tool. It's a Milwaukee screwdriver bit. It's a number 2. It's a little bit longer. All you do, stick it up in there. Here's your screw. Sorry if I'm blocking the view a little bit. The big reason I've tested, I've got a click no start, and I went with this path. My wife had been mentioning that something felt a little off with the knob to start. And before I go to all the trouble to remove the intake manifold, I've been checking everything I could. All the wire contacts are good. Like I said, this switch was kind of burned on the inside. So I'm hoping this will be the problem, but it may not be for the starter. I don't have the click noise recorded, but it's just one click when you try and start the car. And then every 5th or 6th time it might actually start. So it's acting a lot like a solenoid's bed, but I also I want to rule out this switch since the contacts were burned. Once you get the screws installed, it's time to plug in the connector. That's all there is to it. Now I'll hook up the battery and see if it starts. All right, moment of truth. Stay tuned at the end for bonus information. I'll let it idle a little bit, then I'll turn it off and try it again. All right, that's done better than it has in a while, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that's resolved my click no start. Once again, I'd like to verify that this repair worked. After 6 weeks of daily use, there have been 0 starting problems. Thanks for tuning into the 5able channel. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a like and a follow, and I'll keep making more videos for you. And don't forget, if it's worthy of a high five, it's 5able. 0101 1010. Here are a few of the other pieces that I looked at before I got to the ignition switch. I checked this connection, took it apart, it's good. I actually traced the voltage all the way to, on the ground strap, all the way to the engine. I pulled it off, I pulled the ground strap off the engine, made sure everything's clean, no corrosion behind there. I also completely disassembled the positive connection and the terminal block, all of these pieces, including a connector that's underneath there, and cleaned them, make sure that they're good. The battery has been tested under load, it works fine. And all of this was because I really do not want to take the starter out and replace it again, because the starter is underneath the plenum/intake manifold on this vehicle, and you have to take all of this off, including the fuel injectors on both sides, before you can even get to the starter. Fortunately, this time it looks like it was the ignition switch, which was a very inexpensive replacement and easy to do with only a couple of tools. Hopefully this helps you out a lot, and keep in mind that that part is used on lots and lots of vehicles, and it just happens to be the same one that's on this full assembly, but you can replace it yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.